something is going to stop it, yes. If it's because they taper and prices, markets start correcting, they will panic. They will get scared because remember, they're bureaucrats and academics. They don't know what they're doing. Blockchain has a fantastic future for the world. It's going to change everything we know. I am not buying the Metaverse. I don't buy it, but a lot of people have bought it and have made a lot of money. We will know. We'll know in a few years.
Hi again, this is Jackie. We're very delighted again to have Mr. Legend, Mr. Jim Rogers today with us to speak on a little bit about the commodities market as well as the stock market. So the part one of the interview, Mr. Jim Rogers talked a little bit about his take on the oil market as well as the Chinese property market and the Hong Kong properties market. So today we flipped the page a little bit and we want to discuss a little bit about the upcoming year in the stock market as well as some up and coming assets and many people are focused on such as NFTs and cryptocurrency. So thanks again, Mr. Jim Rogers, for taking your time out today with us. So first question, as many people are aware, Mr. Jerome Powell has officially announced the tapering timeline, but so far as we can see, we don't see a huge taper tantrum like we did last time in 2012 or 2011 or so. So do you think there will be a delayed taper tantrum this time? So by the middle of next year, supposedly the tapering will be finished. So do you think this will cause a big crash in the stock market or any other things such as inflation or other risks that will cause a big drop in the stock market in the near future?
Well, the American stock market, and I'll use that as the base since it's the largest, has been going up for 12 years. That's never happened before in American history. It's the longest bullish peak stream we've ever had. So it's going to come to an end someday. There are always things that stop it. And whether it's Mr. Powell raising interest rates or inflation getting out of hand or just getting wildly overpriced, something is going to stop it, yes. If it's because they taper and prices, markets start correcting, they will panic. They will get scared. Because remember, they're bureaucrats and academics. They don't know what they're doing. When things go down, they'll get scared and they'll stop and they'll say, oh, we'll save you. And then markets will rally, and that will probably be the last rally. But I want to remind you, they don't know what they're doing.
Can you elaborate a little bit on why do you think they don't know what they're doing? Because many people are accused of in 08 or 09, the Fed did not do the right thing. But some people are thinking that this time around, they're doing the right thing. So can you elaborate on that part?
I have never found a time in history when printing a lot of money has been good for a country or good for an economy. Yeah, certainly for the short term for a while. If you give me $1 trillion, I'll show you a good time. But in the end, somebody has to pay for it and somebody has to worry. So I don't know any times that printing a lot of money has led to prosperity and good times for any country, society, or economy.
Got it. Very good. So basically the side effect of printing money is going to start hitting the market very soon. Yeah, it makes sense. Somebody's got to pay the bill, right? Like you said. Okay, so the second thing, I think it's a little bit different from what we have read about you, Mr. Jim Rogers, that you're obviously focused on commodity investment. We've read recently that you shared that your wife has actually bought in some NFT during an interview with the Wall Street Silver recently. So does that kind of change your view regarding cryptocurrency, or are you a believer in blockchain in the future?
I've done a lot in commodities, but I've done a lot in other things as well. And I hope I continue to do so. And just to differentiate, blockchain is different from cryptocurrency. Blockchain is different from NFTs. Blockchain has a fantastic future for the world. It's going to change everything we know. Electricity changed everything we know, and blockchain will too. I don't know that NFTs and that cryptocurrencies will change the world. I'm skeptical of that. Yes, my wife is interested in NFTs. She even bought some, but does that change my view? No, I'm afraid not. My wife is a grown, smart woman. She can make her own decisions about a lot of things, just like I do. I make my mistakes too.
Okay, interesting. Yep. Okay, so this question is regarding the regulations happening in China. So in part one, we discussed a little bit on your view towards what you think about the new regulations and the crackdown in China recently. From my memory, so you mentioned that you actually think that some of the rule changes is good for China. Actually, I agree with that as well. So recently, the crackdown has made a lot of China A shares or even some of the shares in Hong Kong drop tremendously. The Alibabas or the Tencent, some even crazier with the education stocks as well. So do you think relatively cheap or buying low right now is a good time for buying these type of tech stocks or education stocks in China?
Remember, you don't just buy the stock market, you buy stocks, you buy individual stocks. I cannot say that all Chinese stocks should be bought right now. I'm certainly not buying all Chinese stocks, but I am looking for stocks in China that might be a good buy. I've not bought anything this week, but who knows? Who knows? If I find something, I will. But I never make a blanket statement to buy everything in sight.
Do you have anything in mind that you're maybe prepared to investing in China in the near future?
I have learned over the years that whenever there's disaster, there's opportunity. The Chinese have a word for that in Mandarin, Wei Ji. Wei Ji means opportunity, disaster, the same thing. We don't have that word in English because we haven't been around as long as the Asians have. By the way, they have the same symbol, the same character in Korean and in Japanese. They pronounce it differently. In Japan, it's called Kiki. So the Asians have been around a long time, and disaster and opportunity are the same thing. So look around, you know the disasters that are taking place, travel, transportation, entertainment. These may be places where one can find good opportunities.
Interesting. All right, so last thing we want to pick your brain on is regarding the clean energy and sustainable resources, and as well as what's the hottest right now in the market, which is the metaverse. So what's your take on the sustainable resources and clean energy? Do you think that's something that investors should look into, as well as what's your take on this new whole metaverse thing that's happening right now? A lot of stocks have gone up tremendously because of this new metaverse, such as Nvidia. So I myself is an investor in Nvidia. Very good return this year, but I'm not completely sold on metaverse. So I want to see what's your take on this.
Well, the metaverse is obviously capturing a lot of attention and a lot of eyeballs, if you will. A lot of people are looking at it. Not me. To me, it doesn't interest me very much. But, when television came along, there were many people who didn't pay attention, but it certainly changed the world. Radio, many things have changed the world, and it captures people's imagination. TikTok, my kids love TikTok. I don't bother with TikTok, but it does have a big effect on many people. So I'm probably not the best person to judge about the metaverse. Some of it I don't see as practical. I mean, buying property on metaverse doesn't strike me as reality, but remember, a lot of people said that about radio. A lot of people said that about TV. So I am not buying the metaverse. I don't buy it, but a lot of people have bought it and have made a lot of money. We will know. We'll know in a few years.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, like the analogy I use is basically the internet, right? In 2000, the dot-com bubble burst. Nobody knew it'll be what it is today, right? So this whole metaverse thing, yeah, I'm skeptical as well, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, and the last question that I mentioned is the clean energy and sustainable resources. What's your take on this sector?
Everybody likes clean energy. Nobody wants to go out and breathe bad air or drink bad water. So yes, of course, there's a great future. And anybody in the energy business is doing his best to clean it up, whether it's coal or oil or whatever it happens to be. Some things like nuclear power are very clean and very cheap and very sustainable, if you're careful. I mean, if your nuclear power plant blows up, it's not so clean and it's not so sustainable. But yes, it is causing changes. Everybody wants clean air, and we're going to see more of it, more solar energy, more everything. If you find a company that can produce clean energy, no matter how they do it, whether it's by cleaning coal or cleaning oil, whatever it happens to be, you're probably going to make a lot of money. I don't know anybody who's against clean air. I don't know anybody who's against clean water. So it has lots of political and citizen support. We're probably going to have electric vehicles, which leads to opportunities. For instance, an electric vehicle uses several times more copper than a petrol. Many opportunities developing out there. I don't know anybody who is against clean energy. So yes, find the opportunities.
Great, interesting. Okay, so do you yourself own an electric vehicle?
I do not own an electric vehicle. I have a couple of vehicles, but I haven't bought a car in a while. I suspect the next vehicle I buy, if and when I buy one, will be electric because I won't have much choice in the next few years. Most of the automobile companies have said they're going to convert purely to electric vehicles over the next few years. I've ridden in them, I've driven them, they're nice, but I don't own one yet.
Same. So my plan is also to convert soon. Okay, perfect, Mr. Jim Rogers. Thanks again. We really appreciate your time with us today. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you soon and have a very happy holidays coming up soon, and as well as a very happy new year. Hopefully we can all travel soon and maybe one day get each other face to face. So thank you again, Mr. Jim Rogers.
Same to you, Jesse. That was fun. Okay. Let's do it again sometime. Thank you.
Thanks again.
Bye-bye.
Now.
相隔咗咁耐，我嘅研究部王牌課程咧，今年嘅2月19號終於咧回歸啦。因為咧我嘅 schedule 咧已經排得太密啦。講明先啦，我移居之前都講呢個王牌課程咧只會減到冇嘅啫，錯過咗今次機會咧都唔知有冇下次。同埋咧，因為疫情，我做嘅優惠咧今次將會係結束晒㗎啦。所以今次免費分享會咧，大家千祈唔好錯過，帶埋啲朋友咧嚟呢個免費分享會試堂啊！我呢個王牌課程嘅免費分享會咧，當日會直播分享俾大家，我從負債到1億嘅唯一投資系統。呢個系統咧，亦都係我內部研究部咧必修嘅核心課程嚟㗎。真係咧唔好同自己講唔得，或者唔得閒試咗先睇多啲。參加呢個免費分享會，你就會明白咧點我成日講投資唔係大鱷嘅專利啦。因為跟住個細則，普通人咧係做到研究部，自己管理到自己資產嘅。呢次因為疫情特別安排咧，我哋會好多大量嘅配套，網上、線上、線下，冇教好耐嘅堂，全部嘔晒出嚟。呢個疫情咧都唔知幾時先完。所以呢啲種種疫情優惠呢，今次係最後出現㗎啦。咁記住，到時分享會見大家。就算王牌課程會再出現呢，呢一大堆優惠同埋配套，同埋我之前唔教堂呢，都會冇晒㗎啦。連結就喺下面，到時約定大家直播分享會見大家，48小時可以重溫嘅。師傅畢業生10年回顧總結班啊，聽到個名都知巴閉啦。呢個係今年另外一個親自操刀嘅免費大型工作坊，係咧第一次做俾所有嘅同學仔，一日係學生、終身學生啊！10年入邊咧上過堂嘅所有學生都可以參加嘅。舊年咧我哋請咗重量級猛人 Jim Rogers 教咗大家成個 course 啦。咁今日咧就我自己出嚟咧同大家回顧翻所有知識率啊、現金流量表啊，一啲咁多年我有 update 嘅嘢，或者你唔記得咗嘢咧，一次過3個鐘嘅 bootcamp。同大家 review 晒你有2個月時間咧溫習翻功課，只要你係同學仔咧，即刻就可以去到通行證入邊咧去報名。4月2號預咗見大家噶啦，咁豐富內容咧只限我畢業生可以參加，仲要係費用全免啦。參加方法咧就 log in 翻平時上堂嘅網站啊 edu.money-tab.com 啊，喺通行證揾翻 Google Form 填啊，填完之後咧同事會幫你 set 翻個堂啊，當日 log in 就即刻睇到呢個大型工作坊直播噶。如果大家想參加我嚟緊一系列對於舊生嘅一啲安排同埋工作坊呢，記住做同學仔就得噶。咁啱啱開放咗個核心系列嘅分享會課程呢，大家參加咗免費嘅，join咗我先啦。各位新年快樂啊！祝大家咧虎年賺多啲喎。話咁快咧又嚟到農曆新年啦，當然啦，又係同大家玩個遊戲啦。好簡單啦，去到下面 Google Form 填自己嘅名啦、PayPal account 嘅 email 啦、電話就可以參加噶啦。我哋有50份100蚊嘅利是啊！填表格嘅時候咧，你可以預先選定啊，如果抽中你咧係要攞走100蚊利是啊，定係放棄啲利是，換取玩一個專幸運輪嘅機會呢？如果你揀咗利是，100蚊就係你噶啦。如果你玩幸運輪嘅話呢，唔會有100蚊利是噶啦。睇睇幸運輪獎品包括咩嘢先？包括咧 Oculus Quest 2啦、Apple Watch 啦、AirPods、Switch 啊、Polaroid 200至500蚊嘅利是，升級版哇無價啦。同埋咧我最新嘅新書，哇呢個無價直情啊！獎品咧非常豐富啦啩，你會揀100蚊定係獎品呢？快啲下面報名玩遊戲啦！ 同大家匯報下先。咁再下次嘅茶聚咧，大家已經可以報名噶啦。下次就會講2022年咧全年大事把脈啊！我哋知道啦，講親黑天鵝咧，我哋都開口中噶，烏鴉嘴咁啊！所以咧，記住去報名啦。咁當然啦，呢啲危機嘅時候咧，亦都有嘢去做到對沖，甚至係賺錢嘅。1月20號咧，同樣時間，環球嘅所有朋友都可以報名，因為疫情問題咧，所以繼續擺喺 online 噶。大家咧可以喺 QR Code 度咧，或者下面連結去報名噶。預定時間抹定 calendar 啦。
富翁團隊又請人啊！今次係請香港嘅同事啊！我哋請緊社交媒體編輯，如果有興趣加入又符合我哋列出嘅要求嘅話呢，就記得 send CV 俾我哋啦！想每日緊貼大市，即刻下載我要做富翁嘅應用程式。我哋每日收市前都會同大家詳盡分析㗎，約定你啦！
想緊貼我哋，記得訂閱我要做富翁嘅 YouTube、Instagram 同埋 Facebook。如果想更加緊貼大市同直播分析嘅話，可以訂閱富翁電視 MTTV 啦。另外，想跟我哋環球睇樓，記得去訂閱我要做世界頻道啦。